stepping it up or he's not doing the right thing, we're free to go.
So do you believe in the
but isn't jealousy actually kind of healthy? So doesn't that show that you hang on? Doesn't that show that you actually value a person and value them as a human being to the point that you don't want to share them, or that you don't want any other people to intrude? You want to kind of all to yourself.
Lol Paladins donated $200. Controlling man, noun, when a woman wants to have relations with another man, and the boyfriend or husband says no. Number 2 is the definition of toxic femininity. Let the rest of the panel speak.
Well, they're all engaging, honestly, and I don't see a problem with people engaging. But to my question, isn't that part, like, if you love somebody, right? Now I know that you can take anything to an extreme. You can even take how much you love a person to an extreme, smother them, this type of thing. But wouldn't you expect to see something you value for you to be a little bit jealous of, if somebody else was kind of moving in, or you felt they were spending time away from you, things like that? Isn't a bit of jealousy good? And for you to say, well, I just don't have any, isn't that really just telling us that you don't value anybody?
Mm-hmm. No, I would say that the jealousy is a tool. It's a tool. It's just an emotional tool.
Well, it's a human emotion.
It's a human emotion, but it's nothing to get stuck on. It should be a passion sparker. Like, you know what? I'm getting kind of jealous that he's really talking to that girl a lot at work. Instead of me trumping and getting all dramatic or whatever, what do I do but step up my fucking game? Well, then I'll dress a little cuter.
Yeah, but isn't that's just shit testing, though? Right?
It's not. It's fun. It's honestly very fun.
Isn't the old adage of play stupid games, win stupid prizes occur
It's not
as well?
stupid, though. It's not stupid. It's actually, that's the way you have a passionate sex life for the whole relationship.
Guys, one at a time. Let him finish, and then you can go. Go ahead.
If you're in a position where you value somebody, of course, you could easily experience as feelings of jealousy. That does not only not make you a bad person, but probably a good thing. It's probably healthy. It shows that you love and adore this person and you value them and this type of thing.
Or so it shows that you're not comfortable with yourself.
Just hang on. I'm almost done, and I'll let you speak, I promise. Isn't it good in many ways that people show that they have a bit of jealousy, because that's the value of they're showing, I value this thing, and you're like saying, I have none of that? Wouldn't that tell me that you just don't value anybody or anything?
I would say that the jealousy is actually, the root of it is your own insecurity. See, I don't have jealousy because I know I am a unique, one-of-a-kind energy. If a man wants to have experience a different flavor, that's fine. Why would I be jealous of that? He'll be back when he wants this flavor. No different than how it's a tool. Jealousy is a tool.
Andrew, let her finish. Go ahead.
I just look at jealousy as a tool. Now, what I prefer more is true admiration and respect. When I truly admire a man and respect him, I might have that little twinge of what we could call jealousy. But what it is he's holding me accountable to rise up my level. For example, there's this guy who is my guy. We all have the one that got away, the childhood love, whatever you want to say, right? He's just my guy. We've never actually been together. But you know what I love about him is that he had this kinky side. I didn't have that coming from the Christian world. I was like a good girl. So because of my love of this man, my reverence of him, my respect of him, I allowed that to rise my game. So I went out and learned how to fuck how he wanted to
sexual.
fuck.
But this is there's a bunch of kind of
but then it became fun for me, and now I have an extra skill to bring other men.
Calm down for a second. Hang on. Just let me say what I need to say here. So it seems like there's a bit of pedantry here where you say things like, well, I'm a unique special energy. It's like, well, okay, but everybody's a unique special energy.
That is true, which is why I don't think that we should...
Stop. Just stop. Let me finish. Holy shit, before you cut in. When you say things like that, it sounds like a bunch of non sequiturs, like a bunch of meaningless spiritual esoteric tripe that means nothing. See, the thing is, I don't get jealous because I'm a unique special energy. Well, yeah, but that guy over there is a unique special energy, and he does get jealous, right? The thing is that none of that really actually answers to my question of value. So if you value something, the whole purpose of valuing that thing is I love it, or I desire it, or I want it. It has value to me. That's where jealousy inserts itself. Can jealousy become toxic because people become irate over it? Sure. But does that usually happen? I don't think so. I think it's pretty common that people become jealous even over kind of small things, and even laugh it off, and even recognize, maybe that's a bad feeling to have, under this circumstance or that circumstance. But what you're talking about really doesn't actually answer my question of, do you value anybody? Mm-hmm. And if you do, how do you demonstrate that without wanting to be a bit possessive or things like this?
I just don't resonate with the word jealousy or possession or anything along those lines. Just because it's common and that's what people typically present doesn't mean it's healthy. That's not love. Like, I love my children, so I want the absolute best for them. A lot of times they choose things that is not my favorite, or they go spend time with other people when I would prefer to spend time with them. But I love them so much, I value them as an individual. Okay, if you believe that that's your best life, that that's your best choice today, that that's your best friend, and you hate me today, okay. I love you so much. I have the space to allow you to be yourself. And I bring that same energy into my relationships dynamics. It's okay to have jealousy, but what I tell men is, that's your issue. You go process the jealousy just like I do. I feel the jealousy sometimes, and guess what I do? I go process through that. No, I'm saying everybody has these human emotions. It's what you do with it. So I might feel a twinge of jealousy. I go and do my inner work.
You just got done saying that jealousy does not resonate with your frequency.
It
so you
doesn't
don't experience
resonate
it at
with
all,
me to
and then
carry
5
it
seconds
into
later,
somebody
no, I'm jealous
else's
sometimes,
presence.
but I just know how to deal with it. It's like, but everybody, then that's the story of every human being out there. Almost every human being out there gets jealous, and most of them know how to deal with it by the time they're adults because they have to, right?
Okay, so maybe
I
misworded it, and we can agree on that. I was simply saying, as the emotions of jealousy or possession kick in, I don't bring that into my relationships. I go have a night to myself, and I ask myself, what would make me feel insecure? Why do I feel insecure in comparison to, for example, this other woman?
Yeah,
and then I think to myself, well, you know what? She's in better shape than me. I really like that. And so you know what I do? Instead of dumping that onto my relationship, I go get in better shape.
Hold on.
Right.
You know?
So you're
final thing,
coping
Andrew.
with jealousy.
Final thing. Go ahead.
Yeah, so you're actually coping with jealousy. What you're saying is, I have ways in which I
use it as an invitation.
cope with jealousy. And these are all the ways I cope with jealousy. And I teach people how to cope.
I teach people how to cope. It's not a coping. It is you're using jealousy as the tool of the invitation. It's a tool to look inward and say, what is this triggering? What is this triggering?
Yeah, but you're jealous of the attention that he's showing to her. So you're like, okay, let me look like her.
That's not true.
Yeah, let me look like her. That's cope. It's literally, if you looked up cope in the definition,
All right, well, we can agree to disagree. We can agree to disagree.
We all get jealous. It's just a human thing.
Pull it up, Nick.
It's what you do with it is all I'm saying.
But if anything, if you show the jealousy in your relationship, it could actually help your relationship.
I wouldn't say it's controlling it. I say you're processing it in a healthy way.
Okay, cool. So what's the panel's thoughts on the Anunnaki? Does anybody have any idea what that is?
No, what is that?
I do.
I don't know what the
Anunnaki are.
I don't know what it is.
Explain.
I can tell you. The Anunnaki, supposedly, are a group of alien beings who came down as starseeds and seeded the planet Earth for life, utilizing hybrid technology in order to create like a lizard hybrid people in the beginning of our. That's what the Anunnaki.
And they have cool watch-looking things.
Yeah, we're not going to linger on the Anunnaki thing. Thank you.
Who came up with that?
Don't worry about it. A couple questions for you here. You mentioned low vibrations. You mentioned frequencies. I don't know if you're familiar with the one of the greatest minds of our generation, of our time. Terrence Howard, are you familiar with him at all?
No, but explain the thought process.
So Terrence Howard, one of the greatest minds of our time, he asserts that frequencies, they have intrinsic power that resonates throughout history, and it influences our emotional, physiological, and cognitive states. Do you tend to agree with
so it
that?
would be, what the better word would be to use epigenetics. So epigenetics is the transfer of vibrational data through the generations.
Now,
That is not what epigenetics means.
Hold on,
It does not
hold on,
mean
hold
the
on,
transfer
hold
of
on.
vibrational data.
Hold on.
It actually does. I have degrees in this stuff.
Okay, you have degrees
You have degrees in epigenetics, huh?
I have a degree in psychology and social behavior, and I have a degree in counseling, and I also have a life coach certification from an institute that specializes in quantum physics and vibrational resonance.
Wait,
So in your psychology degree, did they explain to you that epigenetics is the study of vibrational frequency passed down through the generation? I just want this on record.
So, for example, they have studied now in rats, right, in pregnant rats. They do these tests where the pregnant rat, they can tell now because they use water and the vibration of water and all this stuff in the mom. But vibrational data, meaning basically the traumas and the emotional information from the mother gets transferred to that baby that she's pregnant with, and that goes back 7 generations.
That is not vibrational data.
It actually
which
is.
is being transferred. No. In biology, epigenetics is the study of heritable traits or a stable change of cell function that happen without changes to the DNA sequence. These are not studies of the vibrational intergenerational frequencies of parents and sons, daughters, and heritability of vibrations. That's absurd. That's esotericism tossed in to epigenetics, which is a real legitimate scientific study. It's not about esoteric vibrations.
Your school of science and my school of science didn't date, apparently. So that's fine.
Your school of science studies vibrational frequencies passed down, heritable frequencies.
So my greatest mentor and who taught me about quantum physics and vibrational information is Mary Morrissey. You can look her up. She runs the Brave Thinking Institute, and she's a master. She's a master at creating anything you want. It's a science. It's called quantum physics, okay? Because we're all vibrational beings, and we are passing on vibrational information.
All right, so I've got a couple, I want to run some, this is from Terrence Howard. I just want to run this by you and see if you kind of concur.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, with the science that Pythagoras was searching for, he's made discoveries in his own personal life, with the science that Pythagoras was searching for, he was able to open up the flower of life properly and find the real wave conjugations that we've been looking for 10,000 years. Why would I continue walking on water for tips when I got an entire... Okay, that's something else. Hold on, let me find the other quote. 1 second here. He says that... 1 sec, I'm getting it. He says all the energy in the universe is expressed in motion. All motion is expressed in waves. Yep. All waves are curves. So where does the straight lines come from to make the platonic solids? There are no straight lines. So when I took the flower of life and opened it properly, I found all new wave conjugations that expose the in-between spaces.
Yep.
It's the thing that holds us all together.
Yep.
And
so straight lines or solid matter is an optical illusion. It's not really what's going on scientifically. So if you hold it under the right microscope, you see there's no straight lines. There is vibration. Everything is moving, and it's waves. It's sound waves. It's all of this. And that is what our body is actually reading the data coming in.
Now hold on.
Okay.
So he also says that he's able to prove that gravity is only an effect and not a force. Do you tend to agree with that, or?
Gravity is only an effect and not a force. God, that's such a complicated way of saying that. I'm trying to translate it into common speak, because that's the problem. A lot of stuff gets lost in translation, to be honest with you, because we all have our own way of understanding things, right? So that's why I speak street thug, I speak scientist, I speak life coach.
Gravity is by itself, with no one around. Is it a force?
I would say, okay. I will say this.
If you're with it.
Gravity, if there's nothing to drop, is useless. It's only there to serve the matter that it is vibing with, you could say, that it's around. So I guess that is true. It's not a force that's going to be penetrative. It's just there. If it's necessary, it's there to drop something.
Okay, but effects have causes.
That's true. Yeah.
So what's the cause of the effect?
That's a good question.
Can you rephrase that? Like, say it in a different way?
I actually am thinking about this.
Gravity.
I don't even know how I could ask that better.
Okay, so you're saying where does the law of gravity come from?
Effect?
Where does the law of gravity come from? Is that what you're...
I'm saying if it's an effect, what is the cause of the effect?
The cause of the effect is us, is everything that would require the gravity to work. So it might be a human body, it might be an animal, it might be a rock getting dropped.
What caused the human body?
The human body, well, that's the mystery.
Hold on. Let me ask you a question.
Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Gravity as a force, okay, you say it's an effect. This is an effect. Okay, but all effects have causes. What is the cause of this effect of gravity? You say, well, human beings are the effect of the cause of the
I would say that, honestly, even though I don't mean this to be like flippant, but I think that that's what we would call God. We would call that the mystery. There's certain things, it's a little above our pay grade of exactly how it came to be and exactly why it mathematically works perfectly and exactly why it's there. I mean, it's like the mystery of
creating life. So you don't know,
life.
right? You don't know what the cause is? That's what you're actually saying.
I'm saying that I can say definitively the cause is what I would call God. You can call it whatever you want. You can call it science.
So the effect, so the cause of gravity is, or the effect of gravity is God. God is causing gravity to happen.
Well, I mean, I hate to say God because we have like this particular image, but that's just the best word that we've kind of come up with. You can call it the mystery. Again, the mystery.
Now, when you get into frequency, it's interesting because now, don't take this the wrong way, but from my perspective, what you're saying is a bunch of pseudoscientific nonsense. When you're talking about frequency, it is true that solid objects do have a frequency. For instance, if you took a wine glass and you hit the right pitch with your voice, you could break the glass. The reason that glass breaks is because it does have a frequency, and the frequency of your voice, if they intersect, they can dissolve objects. There is precedent for this. We've known about this for a long, long, long time. What I don't understand, though, is this idea that there's no such thing as something solid.
There's not. See, you were already mistaken because you were calling the glass solid. And you also said that it had a frequency. So if it has a frequency, by nature, it's not solid.
That doesn't make any sense.
Because a frequency connotes that something is in movement. If it's in movement, it's by nature not solid.
Okay, I'm moving this on. I'm moving this on. I'm moving it on. Final question on this. 2 + 2 = 4. Agree or disagree?
I mean, it depends on what the 2 is. Is it a pregnant mom? Is it 2 pregnant moms? Because that's more. So everything is not as simple.
I mean like math.
Just like 2 pencils plus 2 pencils? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, like the number
2 plus the number 2.
2 plus the number 2.
I would say for the most part, yes.
What do you mean for the most part?
Like I said, there's some variations where, but the thing is, even that is a flawed concept because it's that pencil is billions of atoms that are vibrating. We've come to call it one pencil, but it's actually however many atoms vibrating on the same frequency to make this appearance, this optical illusion that this is a pencil. And our human mind needs to label things and conceptualize it in solid form. So we just call
things. If it's not solid, then how does it break?
Well, technically, it's not really broken. I mean,
it's
even that's
broken?
Well, you could say now it appears as 2 pieces. It still was never solid.
It's 2 pieces. That's why, right?
Well, no offense, but I think
Let's
you
say
need to
if you're
go
in a
to school
kindergarten
little
class and the
Well, no
teacher,
offense, that's not an answer.
How is it not an answer?
Saying no offense, but I don't have an answer to that.
I gave you the answer and you didn't want to accept it, so that's not my fault.
Why does the glass break if it's not solid?
It only appears to break.
It only appears
just like
to break.
a heart only appears to break. It's still your heart.
No,
you still
but
go on.
that's way different.
when you go through a heartbreak,
it's honestly
just
not.
the saying.
It's not that different, you guys. On a scientific, microscopic level, it's not that different.
You can't see the heart broken because it's not really getting broken. It's a saying.
You can't die from a broken heart.
Just like the pencil, it's just a saying that I broke the pencil. It's the same thing scientifically.
Okay, that's like you saying, I'm not really one human body because I'm made up of a million cells.
And that is true. I describe myself as more of a constellation. I'm a constellation of atoms and energy. And I
you're
appear...
one person. You're one human body.
I mean, I don't think of myself as one of anything.
But
I
you
think
can
of myself
say
very
that. You can say that's your truth. But the reality is you are one human being.
No, the reality is actually
okay, so
not
I could just grab a part of you and there's two of you?
You could grab a piece of my hair.
But that's your hair coming off.
That's just a part of
all
you.
My DNA. All my DNA is in that one piece of hair.
Yeah, but that's
not your body, though.
That's not explaining ontology.
Exactly. And guess what? My body is not who I am.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, but that's an ontological claim. What is you then?
I'm not definable. I am.
You're not.
I thought you were valuable, though. I thought you were very valuable, though, and you were very unique.
You don't.
I am.
You don't
just
exist.
like
You're
God came,
you're
Jesus said,
feminist
I
made
am.
Flesh. You just don't exist.
I am.
You both exist and both don't exist at the same time.